I thought this afternoon might have been our overall best win of the season, just because playing against a team and a program that we really respect, and they're on the rise. They're not the same team as they were in the months of November and December because they have so many new faces, and their most talented players are their newcomers, and even Peyton Pritchard is a young player in today's world of college basketball. So we have immense respect for them. We knew that it was going to be a heck of a fight, and it was. And we had really two pockets in the game that we just came unraveled, with turnovers and poor offensive play. For the most part, outside of those two pockets, we played some really good basketball. But when you turn it over as many times as we did, 17, again, 10 in the first half, you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's hard to score 41 points in the first half with 9 turnovers. So, and again, we'll have to take a look at them, and some of them it happens. Unforced guys maybe not making good plays, but even the way the game started, I think we started tonight's game with 2 turnovers. But other than the turnovers, we had some outstanding play, outstanding moments, 34 for 37 from the line. You just can't underestimate that. And we were an excellent free throw shooting team a year ago. Quietly, that's why we won so many close games. The same as this year. It wasn't as if we did anything spectacular. DeAndre Ayton and Alonzo Trier can really shoot the ball from the line. They combined 21 for 22. That overcame the 17 turnovers. And then rebounding, we did a good job against them, 27 to 23. And I know they had 9 second shots, but I think overall we were pleased with a lot of things other than our turnovers.
You talk about unraveling. You did unravel in the final few minutes, which is a good sign for you. Obviously, you're talking about that.
The last 4-minute segment there, we always take a lot of pride in finishing the game. You're right. If you've been in the winner's circle and you believe in yourself, especially playing at home, being able to be the best team down the stretch, everybody wants to be that team. But that group of players that was out there that finished the game did a really good job. Tonight it was also Keanu Pinder's night. We played him because of the matchups, and Oregon went small. Dusan got in foul trouble, so did DeAndre, and we really needed somebody to step up. Keep in mind, Keanu did not play against Oregon State, so it's not easy for an older player to not get an opportunity on a Thursday night and then noon on Saturday rise to the challenge like he did. And 4 for 4 from the line. He had a couple great shot blocks, played hard, gave us quickness. And we needed to match up with them, and he really did a good job allowing us to do that.
Is Keanu the kind of guy that requires some maintenance, though, when you don't play him on Thursday?
No.
You have to talk to him, or is he, how's his mindset?
No.
Are you surprised at all about the just 4 offensive rebounds?
Yes, but credit Oregon. It's not as if we didn't work. We were trying. Plus, you don't get a lot of offensive rebounds when you shoot 54% and turn it over 17 times. There aren't many shots that went up that missed. We either threw it to them or made it or got fouled. Because you think about it, we shot 37 free throws. We shot 54% from the field and had 17 turnovers. There just isn't a lot of room for offensive rebounds, So that wasn't as big a part of our offense tonight as it was getting to the line and converting. And then on a negative, just some turnovers that are unforced.
You have a long way to go still before March happens, but how big of a win was this, given the circumstances and kind of the intensity and all that?
Like I said, I thought it was the overall best win of the season for us because I think that Oregon is becoming one of the best teams in our conference. They're fearless. They play hard. They just had a big win on the road at ASU against a great crowd and a really good team. They came in here with a confidence about them, and that's what we expected, and we rose to the challenge.
What was the reason? Was the style of the opposition is the reason why Pinder maybe hasn't played as much as maybe last season?
Well, I'll just go on these 2 last games. Oregon State played big. We needed shooting. We needed scoring against the way they play defense. And, Dusan obviously, Dusan did a really good job today. It's just once he got 4 fouls, Dana Altman's not going to just let him get away with playing with 4 fouls. He's going to take advantage of him and drive it. So, and he went small. They didn't play Wooten, and Kenny Wooten is, a really good freshman, so they went with their skilled lineup, which we thought they might. And so Keanu and Ira were the answer. And, we went a little bit more with Keanu because he's more experienced in that situation.
It's a lot more difficult to get 8 touches against the zone.
Yeah, for sure. But it's deceiving tonight because he only had one offensive rebound. So it wasn't as if he helped himself a lot there. He did shoot 11 times, and he shot 11 free throws. So, if he gets 11 shots plus 11 free throws, that's pretty good. And in particular, again, I'll go back to the turnovers. Those are shots that nobody got. But you can't control it as easily as the coach. And trust me, although they're playing a zone, they're trying everything they can to not let him get it. And then when he does get it, to make him pass. And once again, one of the things that I believe separates DeAndre from a lot of great players is his passing. His passing leads to some of our best offensive plays.
You talked on Thursday the importance of getting help from the bench. Pinder was your bench. Where do you see other guys falling through?
It's a work in progress. There's a lot of teams like ours, but tonight on when we really needed the bench, Keanu delivered. But, we had some turnovers, and you know what? Those guys had a few turnovers when they came in, but they'll get their opportunity. Like Keanu, he didn't play against Oregon State. The next trip in the Bay, we're going to need everybody. And, foul trouble, illness, injuries, styles of the opponent. You just can't win with 5, and we have to continue to develop our group off the bench. But, in the meantime, we have some players that it's hard to take out. I have to really convince myself to take DeAndre out. I mean, he has to be tired, foul trouble, something, because, he brings such an element to the game that you only got him for so many games, right? We might as well let him play the most he can.
And what's it like, Sean, to have that lob play in the back pocket when you need it? The guy goes up higher than anybody can go up.
That's something we have to keep developing. There are times in every game, and we've talked a lot about it, where you have to trust them and throw it because it's really a high percentage play. In most years it's not. You'd almost call that the home run play. It better work. And in that case, unless you just throw an outrageous pass, at worst he'll catch it. And more than likely he's going to convert. So we had a couple lobs tonight. I think Alonzo threw both. One on an underneath out of bounds play, and one late in the game, which was a big one over the top. So, and that is a weapon for us against the zone, throwing it over the top. Guys becoming confident in us. Trying to get that a handful of times a game is a smart move for us.
51 fouls on the evening. How frustrating was that, and did it interrupt the flow? And what did you say to the refs at halftime or going into the half?
It was a physical game. I mean, that's how the game was called. It's always up to the coach and the team to adjust to the officiating. It's never up to the officials to adjust to the game. And some crews are going to call it closer, some aren't. Sometimes it's a physical game. There are more fouls, but that's how the game was called. So you live with it. One thing about that, we're a really good free throw shooting team. So if we get into bonus and we get there 37 times, and many times that's going to be to our advantage. But in the play before halftime, I almost had an out-of-body experience. I couldn't remember where I was. I thought I was having a stroke in the locker room. Then I came to my senses because I just saw the ball go off them. No official's perfect, but that's one they probably missed.
So overall, against the zone, do you feel like you made some progress tonight? It seemed like earlier you were pretty effective in it, but I didn't know with the turnovers. How did you say it compares, like, say, to Indiana?
Yeah, I mean, maybe the turnovers first half against Oregon State and first half against Oregon, I mean, we combined for 19. Maybe that's our zone attack. It also can be just, sometimes players don't make correct plays, First 2 plays of the game didn't have much to do with the zone. Had a lot to do with just, for whatever reason, we didn't have a confidence about us in that first couple possessions. But we'll learn from it. We'll play through it. Not every team's going to score 90 against Oregon. So I can only go on points per possession and points per game. Even against Oregon State, I know we had 21 points in the first half, but you also have to remember we had 41 in the second half. So sometimes that happens in games. You have those moments where you don't score, but at the end, how did you end up doing? Our team's much more confident and better better against any zone you throw up than we would have been a year ago, and I think we'll only get more comfortable moving forward.
There was a lot of energy tonight, both in the crowd and on the court. Obviously, Oregon, you guys have a lot of history together, but I mean, how would you assess that Oregon-Arizona rivalry and how it's kind of grown over the last couple of years? And the fact that the crowd and the players and the coaches obviously seem to be really invested in this game. It seems.
You know, what makes a rivalry in anything is, and I know you guys have asked me about like the crosstown shootout, Cincinnati Xavier. You know, they're 3 miles away from each other. You know, the city is divided, but truly what makes it a special rivalry is both teams have been very good, and both teams are capable of winning that game. That's really what's made Oregon, Arizona during my time such a great rivalry, that both programs have been very good, and in either case, whether it be in Vegas in the tournament, at Oregon here, we've all shared in having the opportunity to win. And that's what makes it special. But when Dane Altman came to our conference from Creighton, I knew that he would make the Pac-12 better, and that's exactly what he's done. They're a power, and they're going to be a power for a long time.
Would you estimate that Ayton and Trier both shoot 100 free throws a day in practice?
We shoot a lot of free throws as a program. We try to take pride in it in the off season, especially Alonzo. Nobody works harder than him. I mean, he's always in the gym. He shoots, I think, 300 shots every game day, which would include today, noon game. You know, some guys, you look at them and you hope they're awake, and he's already getting 300 in before the game. It's just, I mean, he's a product of his work. You know, DeAndre, I've never really seen anyone like him. I mean, he just he has like this unique skill set. I don't even know if he works on his free throws, you know, outside of what we do in practice. But I will tell you, he's a heck of a free throw shooter. He can really, really shoot free throws. So he just has that, you know, that person you play golf with. It just, you look and watch him swing one time, and you've been taking lessons for 3 years, and he doesn't have to take lessons. He just has it. That's him. That's him.
With Keanu, I was wondering, with what he does, how does that work? You know, is there any compromise that you have to work with him within your defense because you don't always emphasize gambling and blocks and stuff like he does, but he does that, and how does that work out?
No, he just, you know, he has that innate ability to do it, and he has to be smart with some of the things he does. You know, in the first half, he went for a shot fake. Guy went right by him and scored the layup, and, you know, those are sometimes some things he'll do in a negative, but his intent is what we want. And he has the intent of coming in the game and really, really playing hard. You know, look, I want to talk about two players that really deserve my attention. You know, one is Alonzo. You know, a lot's been made about his efficiency, and, man, you think about what he's done this weekend. And he's played back-to-back 2 incredible games. I mean, he's scored almost 50 points in this weekend, and, you know, 11 for 11 from the free throw line in a clutch game. He's really playing well. And then Parker. I mean, Parker had 6 assists and no turnovers. So out of our 17 turnovers, he had none. His assist-to-turnover ratio is above 4-1 now in conference play. And once again, he doesn't get enough credit for the percentage he shoots from 3. I mean, 2 for 3 from 3. And he had 2 bad games in a row where he didn't shoot the ball well. But you got to judge him on his numbers. And I also thought, you know, he played really hard defensively in both games. He did a good job against Peyton Pritchard, and Peyton's a heck of a player as well. So I thought Parker was really our floor general, and Alonzo played well. And, you know, with Raleigh, I know he had a high turnover game, but I told Raleigh this before he came back. No matter how much he wants it to be perfect, you don't miss 11 weeks and just come back and become who you once were or who you want to be. It is still going to take some time. He is on the right track. Thank goodness he's healthy and playing. But the best is yet to come for Raleigh, and he just has to work through a few things here, and he will. Wouldn't surprise me at all if he doesn't play great in the Bay.
Even though he's still kind of getting back into his flow, would you say he's probably better this year than he was last year?
No doubt. No doubt. And like last year, he really grew in conference play. He hit his stride in February and March. You know, I think the same thing will happen this year.